Hello, fellow residents of Tamriel. It is the Beeve once again, and I wanted to put up a video that gave you a stark contrast of what the live servers look like right now and what the PTS servers look like right now, so you get a good idea of the differences between the two. So, what I got going on here is I have the PC North American servers, live servers, open, and I also have the public test server open as well, so we can kind of go through and compare a little bit and do a parse with each to show you the differences in the damage output and whatnot. So I'm going to try to not make this very long. I don't want to waste anyone's time, but if you haven't already, please like and subscribe if you've been watching the videos. That way you get notified when we place more up. Um, let's go over our character sheet for the most part. First off here, 42,000 in maximum stamina, 18,000 maximum health, 10,000 maximum stamina. I think I said stamina for Magicka the first time, didn't I? Yeah. So, 42,000 maximum Magicka, 10,000 maximum stamina, 18.5 almost in maximum health. We have a 2236 spell damage with a 42 or 43.2 spell critical, and resistances are 11 and 9k. All my points are in Magicka. I am using Bloody Mara, Corrupting Bloody Mara, and I'm using the Shadow Mundustone for 15% more critical damage done. I got a couple pieces of gear that aren't in Divines yet, so that's why it's only 15%. You will see that I am a CP 540 right now on the North American live servers for PC. Now, let's go over to our test server right now. The UI is going to look a little bit different as well. The Bandits UI that I normally use isn't supported for the new test server stuff right now, so that's why my health bars and stuff look different. The health bars on the live server are all from my Bandits UI and just makes it a little bit, I don't know, it looks better in my opinion. I like it. So, also, on this here, okay, so you're going to see we have a little bit less maximum Magicka at 40,500. We have a lot more health. They start you off with more base health now in the game, which is kind of cool. They want us to focus more on survivability opposed to DPS. So that was what they addressed most with this patch, is that they want you to be able to survive dungeons and not just burn right through mechanics. It's not what they want anymore. You will see that my spell damage is 3226, which is or 3426. I'm sorry, which is like 1100 higher than my live server right now. So a lot higher weapon damage or spell damage right now. Spell critical is 1.5% lower on here. It does give you your spell penetration on the new update that's coming, and my resistances are a little bit higher here because this is an 810 tune on the public test server. They give you the ability to make a maxed out level character so that you can test properly with it, and so we are 270 CP points higher on the test server than we are on the actual live server. Once again, 64 points in the Magicka. Once again, we are using, this is actually the Purifying Bloody Mara, not the Corrupting. So the only difference between these two is the Corrupting has health recovery to it. This one does not. I am using the Shadow Mundustone. All of my gear is in Divine, so I'm getting 17% more critical damage done because of that. Now, inventory-wise, go back over to the regular server here. Inventory-wise, we are looking at, we have the Maelstrom's Perfected Lightning Staff with a weapon damage glyph on it. We have the Mother Sorrow Lightning Staff with a shock damage glyph, and it is infused. I am using Zaun, and I am using Mother Sorrow and Necropotence. Now, the Necropotence here, this is purple jewelry, with all with spell damage enchantments on it. The purple jewelry is, when it comes to the Bloodthirsty trait that I have on all three of them, it allows you to get up to 280 more weapon and spell damage to enemies that are under 90% health. So, keep that in mind right there. All these are purple and it's only 280. But, Necropotence, Mother Sorrow, Zauns. Go back over to the test server here. We have the Lightning Staff of Mother Sorrow, and this one's precise. This is the one thing we have different. So instead of having an infused glyph on this, I have a precise glyph on this. And the precise is giving me 7.2% more weapon critical. Maelstrom Perfected Staff, Lightning Staff, with infused with a spell damage and weapon damage glyph on it. Zaun, Necropotence, and Mother Sorrow. Now the jewelry here, big difference here is that you know, we have the Bloodthirsty trait on all three pieces of our jewelry, and this actually gives us up to 350 more weapon and spell damage to enemies under 90% health, rather than the 280 that the purple was giving us on the live server. So, let's jump real quick back over to live server. We go into our skills. Unstable Wall, 1362 shock damage. Lightning Flood, 1855. 1217 damage on the Volatile Familiar's shock damage, and 2579 on his pulse. Our Twilight Tormentor does 2439 damage. Our Daedric Prey pops for 9478. Our Crystal Fragments pop at 8223. The Scalding Rune is 8,133 and then 8,820 damage over time. If we go back over to our test server, go back down to our skills. So 1419 shock damage from the wall. That's more than on the live server. 1935 on the lightning, more than on the live server again. 1393 and 2689 on the pulse. Once again, both of those are more than on the live server. 2789 shock damage from the bird. Once again, more than live server. Our Daedric Prey's popping at 10k, over 10k, which is more than live server. 9290 on the Crystal Frags, once again, more than on the live server. And 9322 flame damage, and then 9121 flame damage over time. All of which are higher stats, higher numbers at base than all of our abilities on the North American live server right now. Let's go back to our live server. So, real quick like, go ahead and get a parse in real quick. 41,616. That is that's very normal for what I get on a parse on this 41. I normally get somewhere in the high 40s to mid 41s. So that's right on that's right on par. So now 41,619. Let's jump servers. Not the different server. All right, so now this is the live server or the test server that everything all of our damage at base is doing more damage. We have much higher spell damage. We have very similar amounts of magicka. We get better we get better bloodthirsty trait performance from our gold jewelry opposed to the purple jewelry. This setup right here, when you're looking at it, you just from looking outwardly at this point, you'd think, well, this setup has to do better. So let's go ahead and test that out, and you can get a look at how this looks. Same thing, get our elemental susceptibility. Auto Atronach after the first full rotation, just like we did on the live server. Now I could throw down another ultimate right here, but I'm not going to. I'm going to make this as linear as possible to the first parse that I did. Alright, so test server. 32,655. You can see above that one time earlier I did this and I got 33,000. Regardless, it doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't. But this is what we're looking at right now. I'd like to think there's some type of penetration issue on the test server right now, but I think this is just what they're going for. There is a lot more to. There's a lot more going into them wanting us to not burn through mechanics, and they want us to, survive dungeons rather than just crush them. And I get that. Now, 32,000 is still not a small amount of damage. In the right group setting in a dungeon, that can be well over 40k. If you're minor courage, major courage, a tank that's applying, major breach, minor breach. If he's using, they're using poisons that are gonna reduce the resistances as well, or if using all cost to reduce the resistances as well. I mean, there are plenty of things that can go into this to make that number higher. But in the same sense, yes, it can the same exact thing on the live server right now. Like you can get over 40k with this in the right group, where you can get well over 50k with the what I got going on in the live server right now at a lower CP level with less good gear on. Sorry to say less good, but the gear that I'm using on the live server is not nearly traded as well, or uh, even traded properly at times. So you know the fact that this number on the PTS is so much lower kind of sucks. And I want to be able to show this to people so that when patch 29 hits, update 29 hits, people don't get frustrated with what's going on because they can't figure it out. Because that champion tree is confusing. Trust me, there's a lot of things that go into it, and you have to know where to put things and whatnot. It's very confusing. I probably don't have it all figured out, to be completely honest with you. But I wanted to make this video to make sure that people got ahead of the curve when it came, or knew what to expect when it comes, so they know that it's going to be, you might beat your head off the wall a little bit when things first start out. But they say that what they're doing here is going to give you the ability to have a more versatile game style, so that they don't, you can wear gear sets that you like or gear sets that you have, and then fill in champion points accordingly to that type of play style and gear set that will be complementary to somebody that's wearing something that's used to be considered meta or whatever. So that's what they're trying to avoid. I don't know if it's going to work. I have a lot of doubts, to be honest with you. But if it does work, awesome. If it doesn't, I guess we'll find a way around it. But regardless, damage reduction so far, and as you see, a good bit. Crazy amount, to be honest with you. But I mean, that is what we face every time we get a new update in this game. There's always something that they're trying to address. They've been talking about trying to address the power creep for the longest time, and they did so by changing the champion tree. So it is what it is at this point, guys. But I just wanted to let everybody know and give everyone stark contrast of one from the other, and I think I've done a good job of that here. If you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. And also, if you are uh, if you have anything that you would like tested on this new PTS that you'd like to do, or something you're thinking about doing, don't hesitate to ask. I'm going to post this in the Discord so everybody can see it, and if anybody has questions or comments or concerns or whatever, just ask away, and I'll do my best to help. But thank you guys very much for tuning in. I appreciate it greatly, and happy adventuring.